So welcome back everybody to another review of a new release, and today we're taking a look at the limited collector's edition of 1993's Carlito's Way. Now this is directed by Brian De Palma, who also did the really rather fantastic Scarface, Carrie, The Untouchables and Casualties of War, but he also did Mission Impossible, Blowout, Dressed to Kill, Body Double, Raising Cain and The Fury, all of the films that I really rather enjoy. And this stars Al Pacino, who is also in Scarface, Cruising, Dog Day Afternoon, Heat, Serpico. I'm only mentioning those because they're my favourites and I could go on forever for all the films that he's been in. As well as Sean Penn, who was in The Game, Mystic River, Dead Man Walking and also Casualties of War. As well as Penelope Ann Miller, who was also in Awakenings and really rather underrated The Relic. And finally, Luis Guzman, who was also in Boogie Nights and The Limey, with supporting roles by Viggo Mortensen, John Leguizamo and John Ortiz. The plot of this film is about a Puerto Rican ex-con just released from prison who pledges to stay away from drugs and violence despite the pressure around him and lead a better life outside of New York City. Obviously, it doesn't quite go that way, but this is easily one of my favourite Brian De Palma films. Prefer it to Casualties of War, but it's just below Carrie, Untouchables and Scarface. There are plenty of reasons why. Firstly, the cast is great, who all act extremely well. The soundtrack is incredible, with a score that is equally as good. It is well shot, looks great. The violence is handled with maturity. The train station scene is not only incredibly tense, but also well executed. I like the script, and the plot is equally engrossing and entertaining throughout. My only real problems are, which are quite frankly minor, are that I don't like the fact it starts how it ends, and it does tread some old ground, because this at the end of the day does feel like a mature version of Scarface, which also had Al Pacino in the lead role as Tony Montana, because unlike Tony Montana, Carlito, played by Al Pacino, doesn't want to be involved in crime, doesn't want to be getting into violent escapades or anything like that. He just wants to live a normal, crime-free life, whereas Tony Montana really doesn't care about any of that. So it does feel more like a more mature version of Scarface, especially since it's got the same kind of style, the same kind of production value. But overall, it is still a great film in its own right, and this limited edition version is superb. It's got a really nice quote on the back. All the stitches in the world can't sew me together again, which is what Al Pacino says at the end. And nice hard box as usual, which is really nice. And this comes in a Steelbook form. There you go, you got Al Pacino on there and Sean Penn. Sean Penn doesn't look anything like he does in normal films that he's in. And then you got the 4K release there with the Blu-ray at the back. And that's the rear there with a gun coming out of the New York skyline, which is really nice. And you get art cards as per usual in these releases, which is really rather nice. If we can get it out. There we go. It's in one of these slip things, which are a bit difficult to get out, to be honest. But the art cards themselves are really nice. Got a nice glossy sheen to them. There's Al Pacino, and they've all got Carlito's Way on the back. And there we go. There's Sean Penn with John Leguizamo. Sorry for saying his name wrong. There's Sean Penn and Al Pacino again. And Al Pacino chilling out on a sunbed. And you also get a part of the plot, which is a little ticket there. There's Penelope Ann Miller dancing there. And there's a quote on the back. Now, don't read that if you don't want to have spoilers, but it's a really rather nice quote. And finally, you get a nice booklet going through the film with another quote on the back. On the front, the street is watching, she is watching all the time. And it goes through the making of Carlito's Way, and has stills from the film itself. The making of is really long, and then you got the cast, which again is really nice. Then you got the about the filmmaker, which could be infinitely longer because obviously it's Brian De Palma and he's been in so many done so many damn films. Then you got a script excerpt even. So there we go. Which again is all very nice. It goes through. It's got quite a heavy script on that bit. And then I think it's that's it. There's nothing about the restoration or anything, so I don't know if Brian De Palma approved of this, unlike Joe Dante did with The Howling, but still, I'm sure it's going to look great on 4K, and it has been a while since I've seen it, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting it. But if you've already seen this film and you enjoy it, then I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. And if you've seen the 4K version, I'd also like to hear your thoughts about it. But regardless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.